Chair. Look, Minister, I've heard a lot this afternoon about mothers, and I would support the notion of removing some of the archaic language that's in our Constitution. Shortly before my mother died, I was visiting her in Galway, and the visit ended. I was on my way home, and on my way home to Dublin, I was thinking about her and the impact she had on my life. And I realised by the time I got to Athlone, I never told her. So I turned around and I drove back to Galway. And I walked into her room and she said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "You know, every important day of my life, you were there. And I just wanted to say thanks." And she got all emotional, and I got all emotional, and I left. But why am I bringing this into the conversation? My mother was never constrained by the Constitution. Her mother was never constrained by the Constitution. My father's mother was never constrained by the Constitution. My father's mother made her money renting swimming togs in Salt Hill, and she managed to build a house in one of the most prestigious places in Galway. My grandmother, when her husband died young, leased out the farm, opened up a guest house in Mayo, and reared a number of daughters, all of whom were industrious themselves, tailors, tailoresses, etc. They were never constrained. I had 8 sisters. Of the 8 sisters, one of them had Down syndrome. The other 7 all had professional lives or business lives. They were never constrained by the Constitution. The one difficulty I have in the amendment you're bringing forward, 42B, I think it's a good amendment, until I hit the word strive. What does strive mean? We'll try. That's really what it means. And Senator Higgins has brought up the issue of citizens having to go to the courts to establish what something means. Citizens don't have the deep pockets the state has, and we see in our appalling history how we dragged people through the courts who were dying. What are we going to say to the poor parents who have disabled children, who have constant care needs in their home? What are we going to say to those parents when we don't deliver for them? Are we going to say to them, "We will strive, we tried"? Are we going to force them to go to the courts to prove that we didn't try? The word strive in that particular amendment means absolutely nothing. In your presentation here today, you spoke about words having meaning. Putting the word strive in there gives the state an opt-out, gives the state the ability to say, "We tried, we were constrained by resources, we didn't have the resources." We're hearing that every day of the week. Most of the speakers who have spoken here today are talking about the disabled in this country and how they have been treated appallingly by this country and by countless governments down through the years. But sure, they strived to do their best. Strive is too ambiguous a word. It is, as you said in your speech, wishy-washy or symbolic. It is of no value whatsoever. I understand that what we're talking about here with care, we're extending the area of care beyond the mother to the family. But to a certain degree, Senator Clonan was talking earlier on today. Are we saying that when the parents of that child Senator Sherlock was just talking about, when they pass away, are we expecting that some sibling will take over the reins and raise or continue to look after somebody who is severely disabled? It is, I'm afraid, I'm really shocked that the Carers Association has come out and supported this, because it gives the state the ability to say, "Asher, we tried. We made an attempt." And then I, as the person who feel you didn't try or didn't make an attempt, where do I go? I have to go to the courts and get a judicial review to establish whether the state did try or did not try. And then I've got to go through all the processes of proving that the state did not do the job that they meant to do. You have a good amendment or a good motion here, a good change to the Constitution. Take the word strive out of it and I'll actually go out and canvass for it. Leave the word strive in and I will canvass for a no vote. And that's, I'm sorry, that's the way it has to be. I know you're a decent guy, I know you try to push things through as best you can. That word diminishes the entire amendment to the Constitution. Thank you.